So about 10 minutes I've got for you. So really we're here to solve two problems. Problem one I alluded to already. Together we've got people struggling unnecessarily around the world. And this is no one's fault because we're not trained how to be highly effective or highly impactful together as teams. So that's problem one. Problem two is this is more of a hypothesis is as a coach or a trainer, when you stop coaching, you may stop earning. And so we have a solution to both of these problems, and that is our team assessment. And the goal from the beginning was to take something as complex as team dynamics, and it really is complex. It's co-created. We're all beautiful, diverse individual people, and it's real time and changing all the time. We wanted to make the invisible visible. Okay, and so through a 20-minute diagnostic that is anonymous except for the team leader, this is one of two visual representations of everything that's going on in this team. We're actually measuring 30 variables that research associates with highly effective teams. But in this presentation, we group them into 10 essential team dynamics. Even more distilled, we actually come up with a single score, right? And this is particularly interesting to executives for a broad overview. And the total leading indicator score is built by two parts: team dynamic plus their most recently reported hard metrics, because if we're all kumbaya and we don't hit the numbers, it doesn't really matter. Okay. So today's purpose is not to do a deep dive on the assessment, just know today that we're looking at scales here for each of these 10 dynamics. Once they hit 60%, we're into the green zone, and then we can push higher. And the red dots here people find interesting. These are outliers, and this is where the opportunities and the landmines exist. So very interesting conversations that come from that. And there'll be lots of time for questions at the end. I was excited to show you this because this is real data from a team right now. This is to performance. So let's say you have a client and they have two teams and you're getting to know them for the first time. This is real data from a client right now. And the data on the left is from their worst performing team. And the data on the right is from their best performing team. So we've got a total score here of 38 and a total score of 55. And you can see on all of these different metrics, right, these different dynamics, the difference between these teams. And so the question, I'll just ask it rhetorically for now, as a coach, would you be able to see this, and would this function as somewhat of a quick start guide to know where to go first, right, to explore? Okay. This group is about $800 million in revenue, and it's comprised of about 17 portfolio companies. Now, this is the second visual, and I'll go here first. If you look at this and this is your reaction, it's totally normal. But the point here is if you want to really dive deeper, so this is the whole teamwork model, and we call it the House of Copper. This is all 30 variables that are happening in a team every time they meet, each with a red, yellow, green indicator. Okay, we won't dive into this today. That's not the point. The point here is this is everything at a granular basis in a visual format. Okay. We also include the quarter and annual goals here to tie the hard performance to soft team dynamic. Totally normal to feeling overwhelmed when you look at that. That is what our training is for our coach partners. And again, here's that same comparison, best and worst teams in this organization. Visually, once you're oriented to what this actually comprises, once you're trained, you can see the difference in between these two teams very, very quickly on all of the things that are going on. Okay. So here's something from Dr. Regier. So this will be familiar. And the Next Element team took the assessment, and this was, Jamie, this was the output. And I'm not sure if you were involved in this one. This was maybe a little bit before you, but yeah, it was really nice to hear. Dr. Regier is a PhD psychologist, and Next Element has a fabulous, fabulous tool for healthy conflict and how to engage conflict. And so this was a nice endorsement. Next is, so our partner program. We have two ways of going about it and I called them done by you. So the assessments are and the debriefs are done by you and you're trained, or done with you, whichever you prefer. And I'll just say again, we're very deeply respectful of relationships. So whatever is comfortable for you. Okay. A 30 to 50% discount on done by you and a 10% discount if we are debriefing on your behalf. Uh, People want to know, you'll probably want to know pricing. And so for the first baseline assessment for a team, this is the current pricing. And, we're very open and I hope humble in saying, we think this is good pricing for the market, but with all things that we do, we want to co-create with you. So feedback is such a gift. Okay, and so we break this up by small and medium-sized business and then enterprise, some idea of employees, how we define that. And this is the price for an assessment per team member. And this is retail price. Okay. All right. And then we go into what is this discussion about passive scalable income? So I worked up a little example for us. So let's hypothetically, you've signed on as a partner, and the first assessment that you choose to do with a team, you're debriefing it in person for that client team. You've been trained with us. And so what that looks like, we call this a baseline CTA, CopperTeams assessment. So the baseline, the client is paying, and this is for a team of 6 that we modeled, they're paying about $1,700. And at the 30% discount level, you're earning 522, and at 50%, 870. So that's, we would call active income because you're actually working with the client and doing a debrief. So now we get into the passive scalable side. So let's say you did the active debrief with the top level team or a senior team in a company, but now they see the value in this and they want to start to scale it. Okay. They decide that they're going to do the top 20 teams in their company, and we view this as annual recurring revenue. So this is something much like financial reporting we would do once a quarter because team effectiveness to us is a leading indicator of future performance. Okay. So at they've now that your client has decided to scale to their top 20 teams annually to do the assessment either quarterly or twice a year. They're paying about 19,000 and you're earning somewhere between 5 and 9,000. The computer is here to note that this is no longer active work. This is passive, right? This is check the bank account when you're on vacation kind of money. And then if it's a larger organization, finally we go to, all right, now they scale to the top 100 teams. And the individual assessment, I'll note here, is very, very modestly priced. So the value for the client is just huge, right? We priced it that way intentionally. And so now clients paying about 100, and you're earning somewhere between 28 and 48 in a year. Okay. So that's what we mean by passive scalable income. We see this as because our teams are always changing and the external context is always changing. This is something really that we need to do this just like engagement surveys because those are lagging indicators, whereas ours is leading. And we needed to pair this with our financial performance to be able to really know and correlate and really to know who to support before they underperform, fail, or quit. So we've built a partner portal. It's almost ready, so we'll be sending the link to anyone who's interested this week. And so this is how it works: is you sign up with us, and you go to your portal, and you click the button, you purchase the assessments, enter your discount code, and away we go. Okay, and this has a bunch of information on here as well that answers questions. So in summary, 3 whys of why we brought you here today. One, and this is most important to us, we want to help like literally millions of people struggle less. And that's the people we want to partner with is first and foremost, it's about reducing human struggle, giving rocket fuel to human thriving. And it's totally possible for 99.5% of humans. It's just we haven't been trained how. And the second why is hopefully this upgrades your coaching kung fu and allows you to diagnose in minutes versus months. And then, of course, we wanted to come up with a really long-term, sustainable, truly generous and beneficial partnership model program. The next step is a one-to-one with me. I'm sure you have questions. We're early days in this. This is a soft launch, so you can book here or contact us afterwards, and then I'll step you through the process.